It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. We got trains out on the shelf. That's right. That's the Rock Island 80s train right there, ladies and gentlemen. 10 cars. There's the other one. Just got that at Reed's the other day. If you're ever in San Diego, I always say go to Reed's. And then we're going to be putting this one together too. Got that from Mike Hampson. Great dude. And just was like, here, dude, you could use this car. I'm not going to build it. And I was like, I will. So, how you guys doing? Welcome to Magazine Monday. Let's break it down. Boom. Here we go. So, this looks like a railroad model Craftsman because, and the reason I say it looks like is because there's no cover. But pulled it out of the box and I was like, this looks like an interesting article, issue, whatever you want to call it. So I looked it up and it said Railroad Model Craftsman, February 91. We've got a Trains from March of 95, and we got a Rail News from June of 95. And I like this because, A, working on the Rock and Chicago Northwestern and a couple other Midwest stuff. So here we go. Let's start out with the Trains. Boom, the Great Ore Heist. Love this shot. Wisconsin Central, probably an SD45. Wisconsin Central was known for SD45. They had Jeep 35s. They had a bunch of leftover equipment from Santa Fe and obviously other railroads, but you see their F45s made it in Wisconsin Central paint scheme, which I love that paint scheme on an F45. And then you have a beautiful looking 8127. Why is that number so popular? Well, that's a -9, an SP-9. It's not an ace. You could always tell the AC44s were in the lower numbers, like 200. So if you got like three numbers, 240 or something like that, it's probably an AC 4400. That's a -9. Four numbers, 8000 series. Here we go. Let's open it up. Ooh, look at that. That is a beautiful picture right there, number 611. If it was a Santa Fe unit, it'd be a -9 from the 90s. Look at that. Great shot. And then we got our nice little table of contents, but we're just going to dive right in. This is another thing I saw in this when I kind of did a quick review before I started the camera rolling was chassis system. I want to do chassis system. I've been talking about this, maybe two SD40-2s, an SD35, maybe a Jeep 35, and a GP40. But I just love this paint scheme. It's so colorful, so vibrant. Kind of what I like in a railroad is like a good, solid paint scheme across the board, a really good logo. I love the Chessie cat. You know, you got a cat in the form of a C. So, you know, Chessie system. Nice stuff. Good things. Railroad news. We got some M-Track stuff. This is really cool. This is, I believe, what is that? A GP40... It's like a GP, what's it, like it's a passenger though, like a GPSD or a GP40P. Because you can see it's got the passenger equipment on the back. It has the steam generator. Somebody let me know. But yeah, look at that, old school. It's so funny seeing the old school steam engines, how much smaller they were than these giant boilers. Look at that. There's a great cartoon that my son loves to watch, and my daughter too. They love to watch, called The Brave Locomotive. Look it up on YouTube. It's awesome. Really short, but really cool. Love that AC 4400 from Chicago Northwestern. You can see the 3 dynamic braking vents right there instead of 2, same as on the CSX. You notice Union Pacific, they only had 2 dynamic braking vents on their OGs as well as the SPs. They only had 2. And then even when BNSF got into the AC 4400 game, they only had the 2 dynamic brake vents. I don't know what the difference was or why, but I guess just railroad preference. That little bit of Go Transit coming down the hill for extra work on the Metrolink. So this is, was it January 17th, 94, after the LA earthquake, Transit Power was mobilized with the FP7s. Wow, that's cool. It says right there. Look at that. Got some really good looking stuff. Love New Jersey Central. Huge fan of that. My ladies from New Jersey love their paint schemes. Look at that. Boom. And that looks like a New York Central. So cool. So cool. Would love to see those units in action one day. Probably won't happen, but that's not being a pessimist. That's just being a realist on that, where so much to see, so little time. We don't have a lot of time, so make the best of it. Once again, look at that grain train. People are like, that's a dismal thought, Timmy. Well, if you're looking at it in a positive way, we don't have a lot of time, so make the best of every single day you got. I promise you, you won't be disappointed in yourself if you're just making every day count. I love this Pacific Northwest Kaleidoscope. Milwaukee Road. What a great railroad to model. Spencer down at the club said he wants to model the Milwaukee Road one day, and I don't blame him, man. That would be a great railroad to model. Look at that. Very unique with the nose headlight on the B40-8s. And even Santa Fe, I don't know if they had any B39-8s. I'm sure they did. I think they had like a B37-8 or a B39-7 with like a low hood Spartan cab. But yeah, that 4-axle power, something else. Always looked good on Santa Fe. Fast freight. So cool. Look at that. Love the yellow bonnets. The blonde bombshells. Gonna make a Railroads Rock shirt. Gotta put the Santa Fe on the front and just say blonde bombshell. If you know, you know. That's a Dash 9 again. You could see with the extended column, the dash or the C44 or C44, the AC4400s had a smaller vent here, so you can easily locate a Dash 9 with the larger vent right on the end of the hump before it goes down to this notch. But they had that bathtub looking exhaust stack. I mean, those things are brand new. Look at how clean they look. Taconite West, Coal East. That doesn't make no. Hey man, are you on the west east side of the country or the east west side of the country? Boom. See, there's those Wisconsin Central units. The SD45s. They got the flared radiators. Pretty cool. Hey everybody, we're running trains. I got a tie, you got a button down, and he's got a polo. Which one of us looks better? Who likes our shoes? Quick, which one's the engineer? Quick, which one's the railroad manager? Quick, which one's the conductor? The world may never know. Once again, another beautiful shot of those Dash 9s. Got a little door open right there. I'm just getting my luggage out. Crew change, crew change, crew change. Crew change is a good system map of where that Geneva ore goes. We start in the state of Utah, and then we leave and go to Colorado, and then Kansas, over to Missouri, and somewhere in between Illinois. Zzz. Gotta love the Wisconsin Central locomotives. Hi, everybody. I'm on a Wisconsin Central locomotive. Loki, isn't that a guy from the comics? Maybe. God, what a great article. I want to read through this. Can't remember what the name. What is that? The Royal Gorge, I think. I mean, that slender pass. And they have the hanging bridge where they did a suspension bridge across the gorge right at the thinnest part. So cool. What a great shot. Ha! And that's that. We got the Speed Merchant article and flipping through. That looks like a great mag. Here we go. Totes Faves. This is back in 91. And Athearn was advertising the release of their little boys. That's SW1500. You can see with the two stacks. Nice little Norfolk Southern paint scheme. And then Totes Faves SW1000 in Burlington Northern scheme. I remember my boy Sharif down at the club. He used to have one of those units. And he would just do switching in Mojave Yard all the time. That before Mojave was Mojave, when it was just a crap turnaround balloon track. Yeah, advertisements, buy my shit. More advertisements. Here we go. Doot 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 doot. And then you could see, here we go. There's that. And you could see we got, oh, that looks neat. Granite Mountain Railroad. DNRGW right there. There's a lot of cool things going on. I love this comic. Mountains of Fun in 91, Denver, Colorado, 30th through the 6th. I don't know what's going on there, but I want to be a part of it. It's a great little map of the fun here. Against the wall, looks like there's some staging that goes on right there. Comes around into Mesa Yard. Nice little turnaround into a peninsula. And then what looks to be just a little dually loop. Great shots. Good modeling. Look at that. Look at that. I love this right here. Can't barely see it, but this M-Track. You got the PHs hauling a little bit of Superliner Phase 2. I think that's Phase 2, right? The Mercantile. What do you get at the Mercantile? A lot of Merkins. What are Merkins? If you don't know, you don't know. What? Anyways, that's pretty cool. Southern Pacific ballast hoppers, huh? Well, there you go, man. That is something else. Got the BC station. Look at that. What a great representation. 1, 2. It don't get much better than that. Look at that. A little bit of Canada in real life there. And then here's a nice little design of it. Man, I love it when they do these actual, like, okay, this is what it's going to be in HO scale. So if you decide to build it in HO scale, let me station full size for HO scale through as much me again. I'm drawn by Patrick Lawson. Thanks, Patrick. Hi, everybody. I'm Patrick. And now we get to the pièce de résistance of the Sioux line. Obviously, this is in 91, so Walters Proto 2000 hadn't put anything out. The only way you could build one of these is kit bashing it. And I think Rail Power Products put out this SD60 shell right around then. So that's probably what this is. Modeling Sioux Line's SD60M. Great looking unit. Had that Canadian Sioux Line look. Post red and white. Just a solid red. But look at these, man. Not the biggest fan of the Triclops, but it was a very unique look. It definitely gave it this burly industrial look. Like of the changing of the guard. When they went from the Spartan cabs to these wide cabs. Now everything on our system in the United States has the wide cabs. But you still have the old standard cab. But something about that looked really cool. And look at that. You could see SD60M shell modification instructions. Golly. All right. And if you follow those instrucciones, that is what you will get. All right. I think that's good for that one. Buy stuff, more stuff, buy stuff, buy stuff, buy more stuff, buy stuff, buy more stuff, buy stuff. Cool stuff. All right, moving on to Pacific Rail News. Not a popularly wide publication, but Yakum Smirnoff or whatever his name is. Got his mail. Got your tax information, bro. Get a hold of me. The Overland Limited. Great stuff. Great magazine. I like that kind of stuff. Kind of out of nowhere. The Expediter. God, gotta love the old Santa Fe SD75Ms. That 200 series was something else. They had those high grab irons on the nose. I really like that. Union Pacific obviously had those. Southern Pacific as well. Their SD70Ms. These were SD75Ms. If somebody knows the difference in horsepower. I don't know if it was 4,300 to 4,100, whatever the range is on that. But that was that. That was that. Look at that. Moving along like a herd of turtles. And then this is what I was talking about earlier. You could see the AC 4400s from SP look almost identical to the Dash 9s, especially with the paint scheme. But, okay, yeah, see, lower numbers. So the 100 series, I thought it was 200. 200, 100. I think they had enough for both. Something like that. But, yeah, AC 4400, beautiful looking unit. Yeah, there we go. Number 107. Got your stock index. Take a look at that really quick. There you go. Save that one to memory. Great picture of that SD75M at night in the Alliance Yard. They had a very unique silver. A lot of people don't realize the silver was a little bit different than the Dash 9 or anything that came out of GE. So if you looked at an SD75M, the silver faded differently. It kind of became more of a gray. And it was even different than the GP units, the Jeep 60Ms and the Jeep 60Bs. It's a very unique silver. And then when they went over to the fake bonnets with the SD75Is and put the BNSF on there, once again, the silver was slightly different. Explain it, but that old Surfliner, California scheme. Gotta love the California scheme. Blue and silver. Remember the first time I saw that at San Diego Depot. Still will never forget seeing a whole train painted like that. It was beautiful. Beautiful paint scheme. Good media representation. Chicago and Northwestern system from 1985 to present. And what year are we? This is right before... No, this is when they got bought. 95. I thought they got bought in 94, but... See that? Abandoned trackage. Let's just take a second to look at this. You can zoom in on your old Skaboodle and just take a look at what they had. A lot of Wisconsin movement. You got your Chicago all the way out into there, right there. Very Midwest company. Love it. Yahtzee, Wisconsin Glory Days, moving on forward. That's a great shot. Got a little Boston Whaler right there. I remember my dad used to take us out on the bay in a little one of those, the little outboard motor. So much fun. So much fun to drive those things around, man. Especially if you know what you're doing. Wow. What a great shot. Nice little thoroughfare there. And as we end this little Magazine Monday with a shot of Chicago Northwestern with the semaphore signals high on the signal bridge. That is a beautiful picture. And that is where I will leave you, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you guys are having a great Monday. Other than that, keep on rocking and rolling. I'm going to do a little Instagramming with this guy. Good old railroads and rock and roll. Other than that, be well, be safe. Remember, the most important signal you get is going to be your next one. And other than that, let's highball.